like, especially when we were living together, she had a ghetto boyfriend. A ghetto, horrible boyfriend. I don't know.
They break it up.
Yeah. Obviously.
Praise
Not
God.
on my computer. This is gonna feel like high school again. I was doing good.
Point of view, you grew up with overachieving siblings. How do you tackle life? Welcome to Talks with B. My name is Benitah Bhero, and today I have with me
Ursula Khumalo.
on our first episode. And today we'll be talking about what the reality of growing up with overachieving siblings actually is. So me and Ursula have known each other for 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
Almost a decade. Look, check us. Okay. We've talked about this particular topic a lot.
Yes.
And so I thought it would be nice to talk about it with the whole world viewing. No pressure. You have one older sister, Maxine. Yes. I have two older sisters, Zariel and Hadassah. So I don't know if you want to tell us more about Maxine.
Okay, going to start. So my sister, Maxine. Well, my sister is like the typical, not even the typical overachieving sister, because she's done a lot. Mm-hmm. She's currently in America, getting her second PhD in yeah, and she's gonna
Wait, what do you mean second? Ursula, I only knew about what? No, I can't even hold this anymore because I feel like my hand gestures need their own space. What do you mean second?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult giving specifics with what my sister does because I do not understand it.
Okay.
Well, she's studying something in astrophysics and computer science and other things. I might seem like a terrible sister, but the thing is, when I ask her what she does, like, it's not like a one word, like
it's
a
long
one sentence, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. It's like a full essay, like what she's doing, and then by the end, I'm like, what?
Oh, okay, that was good for you.
So she got a PhD at Wits. I think she's still like finalizing things because there's like research she's supposed to do. I'm not quite sure. And the PhD is with astrophysics in Florida in America. And then I think, well, she has got accepted to study and a full scholarship in Orlando in America in August. So this is like her 8th year studying. And for every single year she studied, she's literally, like, my mother has not paid a cent. Not a cent towards the education, because she gets a new scholarship for each year. Like, my sister is crazy.
Well, that's the end of the show, guys. That's it. Can close it off right now. Damn, okay.
Yeah, and she has 3 academic journals published now. In primary school, she was the head girl.
We went to high school together.
High school, she was the head girl. So she's always been the head girl wherever I am. She's like...
she's there.
She's like, yeah. So at school, like, obviously we'll get into that detail. That was like challenging, but you know, she's like she's just loved learning and studying her whole life. She just has a mind for it. And I don't think I like know my sister as a genius, because like she's not like, there's lots of people who are smart at like one thing or very gifted at one thing, but my sister is like the type of person who like is smart at everything. Like, she can do everything. Like, she's an amazing writer. That's what I do, so she outshines me there. She is like really good at public speaking. Like, she's not like the typical nerdy, like, to themselves, like I'm to myself, but she's like very outgoing. She like did debating. She used to like win all the tournaments. She was like public speaker, like all that.
She is like that girl you see in movies, but this is real life.
No,
this is real life.
Seriously, like she worked at Nedbank for like a year, and like they were begging her to stay because she like did such a good job, but she was like, no to the corporate life. She's not a corporate girly. So like, my sister can do anything. Like, I'm so convinced she can do anything.
I'm just thinking about how I want Maxine's brain at this point in my next life, Lord. Please hear me out right now.
I know. So I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, God, why didn't you give me this bread? Because I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah,
My
no,
sister
by now.
doesn't take money seriously. She doesn't care about money. She cares about academia.
Maybe that's why God didn't give us those breads.
Yeah,
because he knew. By now, I'd be a billionaire. Simple.
He knew.
Damn.
So that's like a brief summary of my sister. She's just like extremely intelligent. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I said, guys, we've reached the end of our show. I'm kidding. But yeah, okay. So in terms of me, my sisters, so I have my older sister, Zeriel, and my second oldest, Hadassah. And then I'm the last born, right? So I'm the baby of the family. We're both the babies of the family.
Both the babies.
And Zeriel, she's yeah, so she's an advocate right now. The first thing I think of when I think of her is she's such a Wonder Woman. You know, she's an advocate. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a sister. She did amazing throughout school. She basically graduated with a cum laude. Almost. It was like 0% off. But basically, she worked with some of the top firms when she got out of Varsity. Yeah, and I think now she's, you know, she's explained to me what she does exactly. Right, it's like a private practice or something. I don't know exactly what it is.
I feel you.
But yeah, you know, she's doing something over there. And
It's so bad. It's just like, they're doing such amazing things, but we cannot explain it.
Yeah, she's doing something out
She's
there.
doing something
I mean, I see the fruits of it. So
like, trust us, they're doing
exactly.
something smart.
And my second eldest, Hadassah, so she's another Wonder Woman. She started Hadassah Creations from the ground up. It's a very, I never know if I can say up and coming, because I feel like it already is up and coming. Like she's already done so much for herself. I mean, starting a business is not easy, and she's defied all odds, you know, with it. So she's a fashion designer, CEO of Hadassah Creations. Yeah, that's basic, you know, that's all they do. That's all. Nothing much, really. I mean, I guess they're great or whatever. Yeah, so I just wanted to give everyone kind of a brief intro as to what, you know, our siblings do, how they are in life, overachievers.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, next talk about if there was any points, you know, in your life where you felt very pressured by your siblings' achievements and kind of how you dealt with that.
Definitely. I mean, I'd say right now, I definitely don't. Like, I have a much more positive relationship with myself and my sister. Like, I'm so proud of everything she does. And I don't see it as a competition anymore. But obviously, growing up is like a different story. You know, when you're younger, you don't really think about things as much, and also you can be more insecure about yourself, and seeing your sister like outshadow you in so many things can like take a toll on you, especially when people constantly bring it up, you know. And I mean, it's mainly primary school. It was difficult, like primary school and high school. Like whenever anybody would like find out my surname or see me, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you're Maxine's sister!" Like my whole like identity
was
going up
Maxine's
throughout.
sister.
Yeah, I was Maxine's sister. Like people would actually call me Maxine's sister, and it's like it's not really nice not even being known for your own name, because everybody calls you by like you're her sister. You're not your own identity. You're her sister, you know. And I guess it also like made me like not care about school as much. Like I did do well in school. Like I did have good grades, but like
she had great grades. Firstly, I knew her because we were in high school together. She had great grades, but yes.
But I'd never study. I would never like care.
That's actually clever.
Oh,
yes,
no.
okay.
I would never like put efforts, and I would never do extramurals. I never try to do more than I have to do, because like I felt like if I ever tried, I would never like meet up to what my sister's done. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Like if I didn't do like as well, if I tried and I didn't like succeed, then like it would make me feel really bad about myself. So I'd like just not try at all.
Because she had kind of already set the standard.
Exactly. If I don't try,
especially being your sister,
fail.
yeah.
You know that concept. So I think I did miss out on a lot of opportunities at school. But I mean, like, one thing I can say is that my parents never compared us, ever. Like, many people would ask, and they'd be like, did your parents, like, ever make you feel bad for how well your sister did? But, like, quite the opposite, in fact. I feel like, I mean, my parents don't watch this.
Also, thing is, if you're Ursula's parents, just fast forward, yeah.
But I feel like they're very intimidated by my sister's intelligence. They have been her whole life. Like, they don't understand her because of how smart she is. She isn't just average smart. Like, she's just very, very smart, and she's smarter than them. And I feel like as an adult, when a child is like correcting you, telling you, like,
it's a bit humbling.
it can like be like, you know, like exactly intimidating and embarrassing, you know. So I feel like if anything, they used to praise me more for my grades. Like, even though I didn't like do amazingly, I did well. Like, they would be so impressed with everything I do, even with the stuff I'm doing now, like with my business and everything. They like are like amazed by it. They like so proud. But like, my sister's in America for free. She's basically getting paid in America to study. Something that not many people can, and like they don't really talk about it, you know, or like praise her or congratulate her. But like, other than that, I do think some people do not have filters. Like, adults, dealing with adults who knew my sister and me, and like how well my sister did, they would like say outrageous things to me. Like, they'd be like, how come you're not as smart as your sister?
Whoa.
And I'd be like, do you think that through?
We're throwing hands. Like, as soon as you say it's on site, and you're right in front of me. So, do that.
And this actually, like, it kind of gets into my relationship with church. Because lots of, like, the ladies at church, they would, like, every time I used to go to church, it was, like, a criticism, like, welcome, like, you know, first of all, like, my sister would never go, so I would be, like, her representative, like, how's Maxine doing? What is she doing? So I'm busy, like, always explaining. They never once ask how I am, like, what am I doing? It's always my sister. Even with, like, extended family members, it's like that. So, like, I've just gotten used to being, like, my sister's keeper.
Yeah, here for Maxine's interview. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like I'm her representative. You know, I remember the one time, I don't know why it affected me so much, but this was like grade 11. You know, when you're applying to be monitored to be a prefect. So she was asking, am I like wanting to be a prefect? And I was like, no, it's just not for me. And she was like, you're such a disappointment for not following in your sister's footsteps.
Wait, who said that?
Someone I'm not related to, some random lady at church who thinks she knows, but yeah, so she said that to me. And it really stuck with me. I was like, do people just like view me as a disappointment because I'm not as like achieving as my sister?
But not even that. Like, why can't you just have your own path in life? Like, if that's not what you want to do, then that's not what you want to do.
100%.
That's so horrible. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so that really did impact me and make me feel like quite bad about myself, you know, and where I am. But I feel like I'm grateful to have had the sister that I had because it taught me a lot. And it taught me like how everybody has their own path and everybody has their own intelligence. You know, I'm not the type of, I don't have that like book smart type of intelligence she has, but I do have my own individual intelligence, you know, that makes me who I am. I've just learned to like realize that I'm enough and I don't have to be like follow the same things everybody else does, you know. It helped me have like a bit of tougher skin as well because I used to get criticized a lot by teachers. My teachers used to say a lot of messed up things.
That deserves a whole nother episode.
And bleep them out.
No offense, but if you went, we'll bleep the school out. But if you went to the same school as us, you know exactly which school we're talking about. Yeah. Oh shit, I was a prefect. I can't. Great school. Take your kids there. No, seriously, it was a great school. It's just that some of the characters
it's the school itself is fine, but it's just adults have problems. We need to talk about how adults aren't perfect. Like when you're younger, people will tell you, like, make you believe that you must always listen to adults. Adults are always right. But some adults have their own emotional issues that they need to handle.
And that's not even, now you've made me excited to talk about this particular topic. Because this topic, we could speak about it for days. I'm gonna have Ursula on another episode. We're gonna talk about this particular topic. But just a side note here with adults. And I feel like it's such a messed up thing to, you know, when you're young and you're taught, listen to your mom, listen to your dad, listen to everything they say because what they say is right. And then when you start individually thinking for yourself as you get older and realize, you kind of messed up though. So why was I listening happening to you? Because you don't even have it all together. And it
Exactly.
becomes this thing where, I don't want to say it's a damaging part in your life, but it kind of is a damaging part in your life, because then you grow up to realize, wait, my parents aren't exactly who I thought they were.
That realization
You know,
is
my
actually
grandparents aren't who I
sad.
thought they were. My uncles, my aunts, you know. But this is no shade on parents or whatever,
No.
because you know, with that realization that they aren't as perfect as you thought they were, you also realize that, wait, but they're also human. Because I think in that thought, when you raise up, you kind of think of them as superhuman.
100%.
And then when you grow up, it's like, wait, they're
100%.
human. They're dealing with their own problems.
100%.
It's so weird to me that I've started to see my parents as people. Not that I didn't think they were people, you know.
Oh, no, same.
But I thought they were like, no, they don't go through anything, you know. I'm going through stuff. They have it all.
Life is easy for them.
And you realize, wait, they have a lot on their shoulders. Like, it's tough for them, you know. But
100%. That's a long story. For
yeah, I can't wait to
But
talk
like,
about that. Yeah.
Let's just scratch the overachieving.
Let's scratch this one. Let's talk about this.
Anyway, we're like,
So
let's go back.
Back on this. Okay, so for me,
Yeah.
was there any point in my life where I felt heavily pressured by my sisters and how they were doing in their lives? So, where do I start? You know, from the womb, honestly.
I didn't even get pumped up yet.
So, I think for me, I have a significantly bigger age gap with my sisters compared to you and your sister. I think you and your sister's like what?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
So for me, it's with my older sister, it's 11 years, and
Okay.
with my second sister, it's 8 years. So it's a pretty big age gap. So I haven't had the chance of being at the same school as them at the same time or whatever.
Yeah.
So like if I'm in primary school, they're in high school. There's no
Overlap.
comparison to really make.
Yeah.
When I was in varsity, they were already out, you know, having kids, starting businesses. So, you know, I think now, funny enough, in this particular year and after finishing varsity, I've started to feel pressure.
Because now you're like in the same phase of life.
Exactly. Now it's like, oh wait, I can't hide behind school anymore. Now I'm an
Yeah.
adult. Now, you know, I'm opening proper bank accounts. I'm buying furniture. I'm doing what you gotta do as an adult. Exactly. So now it's like, oh, now I'm grouped with them. So I feel like after I finished varsity, there was this thing in me that kind of felt, I didn't know what I was feeling exactly after I finished varsity, but I felt something like, oh, that's the end of an era. Like life is starting now. Like this is actually life. And I think,
pressure.
and I took some time to kind of think of like how far my sisters had gone and just kind of like their journeys. They had 2 completely different journeys. And I won't touch on that because that's their own personal lives. I can't touch on that for them. But either way, with both their journeys, it both ended up successful. You know, different routes, but it still led to the same tree of success. So for me, it kind of felt like, you know, I'm still finding what routes I want to go. It's so funny because I just said routes and I'm saying routes. Hey guys, you know
You
what?
gotta switch it up.
Potato. Anyway, so I think for me now, with finishing varsity, so I studied biochemistry and genetics, but I'm not currently like working in biochemistry and genetics because I felt like I had to study just to get my degree, because for us in our family, you know, getting a degree is a big thing. Get your degree, then do whatever you want. Like that was my parents' deal. Get your degree, then do whatever you want. We just want you to have a degree so you have something to fall back on if anything happens. And so for me, it was like, I want to go into fashion. But now the thing is, my dad has a fashion designer and Zara's an advocate. But now I also wanted to go into fashion. So now it kind of makes it hard when you want to go into the same sector that one of the other sisters is in, and she's already kind of built her foundation and kind of made a name for herself already. And it was so weird because after finishing varsity, it was like everyone asking me, okay, so what are you doing after this? You know, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, you can apply for this, you can apply for that, your degree, you know, fits into this. And I'm like, I have to tell everyone, I'm not going into science. This is an awkward conversation to have. And then the second question after that is, so why did you study it if you're not going to go into it? Like, why didn't you study fashion? I can't sit and study fashion. That to me, I can't think of anything worse. I'm so sorry. I'm
same way.
I'm sorry if you studied fashion and I'm saying that, but that's you. I
It's a
can't
personal
sit.
thing,
I can't sit, and to me, it's more about
doing.
Yeah, let me just do it. It's a self-expression thing. I can't now sit and writing an exam with the memo already. Like, why am I having a memo on fashion?
Exactly. That's my mom was like to me, because I was studying a BCom in marketing and management, and I mean I am using some of the stuff I learned there, in all fairness. But like my mom's like, why don't you study like directing and screenwriting, because that's what I'm passionate about. And I'm like, no,
I can't sit and study this.
Study directing.
Exactly. And the thing is, with screenwriting and directing, it's such a creative process.
It's so creative.
So if you have to now sit and be in the box of I'm writing this exam,
Exactly.
there's a set memo. Exactly. So I was like, I can't go study fashion. I would be very much bored there. As much as I think fashion is the most entertaining thing in the entire world, if I go sit and study it, I'm gonna fall out of love with it, you know.
But at the same time, you shouldn't have to like explain yourself to people.
Exactly, but people, that's another thing with me. I don't like telling people what I want to do with my life. I'm like, let me just show you what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to tell you, because then now you have this expectation of how you think it's gonna pan out. No, just see what I'm doing. You don't have to know exactly what it is that I'm doing. So I think for me, I started feeling pressured after I finished varsity.
Understandable.
And how did I deal with it? I'm still dealing with it. I'm still dealing with it. But I think I remember I was sitting down with my parents and talking with them and being like, you know what, I don't want to go into science. As much as you guys have been trying to, you know, tell me about job opportunities and help me out, I don't want to go into it. You know, I want to go into fashion. I want to go into content creation. I want to go into just anything but science for now. Like, maybe I'll circle back to my degree and use it one day when I'm buying shares in Aspen or something. But anyway, but for now, no, like, I don't want to. And I'm so glad that they were both like, okay, you know, we respect that, we understand that. We're glad that you've done what we asked you to do. Just get your degree. Now do what you feel you need to do. And I had to have the same conversation with my sisters also. And I remember having it, my elder sister Zariel called me and we were just talking. She's like, you know, I just wanted to find out like your plans. That's my least favorite question. But, you know, and I knew she was asking from like a place of love. So I think that's why I was fine with answering. And I was like, no, you know, I don't want to do anything with science right now. Ever. But I keep telling people right now, you know, just to put people off. But I don't want to do anything with science. I want to really focus on fashion and using, I think, the God-given skills that I have for styling and just creating fashion pieces together. And I'm so glad that she also was like, you know, she was so supportive. She's like, you know, you should look into like image consulting. I think you'd be a great image consultant. I was like, you're onto something. You're onto something. And so I'm glad that I've kind of had the support of my family, you know. So that's the first way I dealt with it, just kind of letting everyone know that's the part I want to go into. I know it's kind of the same area as Esther, but I'm still going to be doing my own thing, you know. I don't want to be... I think she's always been very supportive of me doing fashion, because I think she also sees the gift that I have for it, so she's also so supportive of it. It's just that sometimes I do feel a bit like overshadowed by her, because it's like she's already a name, you know. And everyone, you know, most people that know me know my sister, and most people that know her kind of know me because we post each other a lot on social media, we go out with each other a lot, so it's not like a combo deal, definitely like that, we're both separate entities, please. But, you know, it's, we're known together. Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And so sometimes, you know, it's, I remember someone once asked me, oh, did your sister style you? Because obviously at that time, that was still, I think it was still early varsity. So I hadn't necessarily, I feel like now I've kind of, I'm starting to create a name for myself in fashion.
Like, so I feel like, sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like you're creating like names for yourself in different ways. Yes. Because I feel like you're gonna create like social media, you know, focus on that. You know, and it's completely different to what your sister's doing. You know, there's so many different like ways to go in the fashion world. Yes. You know, continue.
Yes. Yeah, and someone asked me, like, did your sister style you?
Oh,
and I'm not gonna lie. Thank you so much. I'm like when she asked that, I was like, no, she doesn't. I style myself, you know. But I do use a lot of her clothes in her cupboard. That I want to say.
That doesn't mean
a lot of her clothes in her cupboard I use, but still, I style the pieces together. I still put it. It's not nice to, like you said, to be known as Maxine's kind of, oh, you know, how's Maxine? This Maxine, Maxine, that. Like, I want to be known as me. Like, I'm me.
100%.
I'm not Hadassah's sister.
But
I'm
actually,
Benitah.
Yeah, like your story, like of someone asking you if your sister styled you, actually reminds me of something similar with my sister, because I did like really well in like a maths test, and someone's like,
oh, I know where this is going.
Like, does your sister tutor you? Like everything. And I was like, girl, that's don't like minimize my good marks for like my sisters. Like,
and I feel like anyone in that position, you don't want to be known as someone else's associates, whatever. No, I do this myself. Like, I can give credit where credit is due.
100%.
But I know if I'm working hard at something, I work hard at styling myself, at creating all those content creation videos, and you know, building myself as a brand. So I can't be known as Hadassah's sister. No, it's Benitah. It's Benitah Bhero. Thank you very much. But I am Hadassah's sister. Thank you. You know, we are a great.
Like, I'm proud of her.
Yeah, I'm proud of being
but
a sister.
I am not
Exactly.
You know.
I'm dealing a lot better with the pressure though. I don't think I feel as pressure because I feel like now I'm living in what God has called me to, and I've become so content with the purpose that God has put in my life, and I'm so clear. I think the reason I felt so pressured then was because I felt like I still had to go in the direction that everyone wanted me to go in, which is science. But now, and I didn't have the heart to tell people, oh no, I want to go into fashion, you know, I want to really focus on fashion. So I felt pressured by not doing what everyone else wanted me to do. But now it's like I've seen what God has done for me in the past. I've been out of school for like 4 months now. I've seen what He's done for me in the past 4 months. And you can't tell me that this is not what God has called me to. Like, you cannot tell me.
You can't ignore it.
Exactly. And it's so crazy because I sent you the thingy. I actually got a scholarship for another year of study at UKZN for getting amazing marks on my degree. You know, what can I say?
But she's the overachiever, guys. This is a lie. This is a scam. She's the overachiever.
This whole podcast video is about me, in fact. And I remember when I got it, I was like, well, this is weird for me because now, like, do I go back and study? But I know it's not what I want to do. I know God has called me to something else, so I can't keep deferring what God has called me to. So I think now, because I feel so confident about where I'm at and what I'm doing, and and I feel like God has given me the validation and the word and the reassurance that this is the part I want you to go into. Like, this is all God. God. And even just the growth in my social medias recently, it's all God, and that's God saying, this is where I want you at.
You're on the right path.
Exactly. So that's how I've dealt with it. Trusting God, leaning on God,
and
being confident in the plans that God has for me.
100%.
Look at us running it off. Anyway, so I think we've actually touched on this already, but what has your relationship with your sister been like over the years, and how is it now?
Well, when I was like very young, like when we were young.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to take a water break or you Mom?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Mom. I need a bit of
water. Like,
what
are you talking about? I was just like dry.
We're talking a lot.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay. Back to it. Actually, no, I'm lazy. Sorry, yes, relationship with your sister.
So, when we were young, and Dawn was like, we were like inseparable besties. Like, we used to do everything together. But she was toxic because when we had holidays, my sister's like such a like by the book person. When we had holidays, she would literally write hour by hour the plans. She would wake me up at 7 a.m, school holidays, and she'd be like, no, 7 a.m. is when we do our annual moment. We had an annual moment every morning. So we'd read through, annual books. We'd read through the stories, do the activities for 1 hour. Then the next hour we're eating breakfast. Then the next hour we're watching TV.
Oh, it's so adorable. No.
Like, exactly. Then oh, we're having a break. I'm like, how are we having a break on holiday? I used to be like, why does she make up the rules? But I used to just follow them. Cause...
She's a breed of her own. That's all I want to say. That's all I
But
want
we
to
used
say.
to do that like every morning, every day.
Mm.
You know, and we're very close. But then as she got older, she like got more like into school.
Mm.
When I tell you my sister lived at school, she lived at school. I don't think she'll ever stop wanting to learn. She just loves learning. I don't know. But anyway.
That's such a beautiful way to. Can't be me, but it's such
I
a
don't want
beautiful
it,
thing.
but I'm happy for
But
you.
I'm happy for you. That's stunning for you, my love. Yeah.
So then after that she went to Wits, and then obviously there was more distance because like she wouldn't really like come to Durban that much, so I never used to see her much. We never really had that close bond like we had when we were younger. But then when I dropped out, well, I had a gap year, but now it's turning into gap years. I decided, you know what, let me just go to Joburg, a new pace of life, and I moved in with my sister, and like we like grew so strong together, like we bonded so well, and like she's my best friend. That's why I'm so sad that she's in America and she's going back as well. So it's like, it's bittersweet because I'm so proud and happy for her because like I wanted to achieve all these things that I know she's capable of, but at the same time it's like I miss having her around because like we grew such a close relationship, and like we would like, you know, bond over like not childhood trauma, but low key.
But that's the best thing to do with your siblings. No, that's
so fun.
That's the best thing to do. It's like, remember that time when...
like, how wild was that that actually happened?
Since then I've had attachment issues, so you know, fun. For me, with my siblings, I think I already mentioned like there's obviously a big age gap. So growing up, so my family growing up, it was my mom, my dad, my two sisters and me. Family of 5. So it always kind of felt like, okay, my mom and my dad, they're together. My sisters, they're together.
Because their ages are closer.
Yeah. So me, it was like, oh, hi there, you know, it's just me. But I had, when we still lived back home, so back home was in Zim, when we still lived there, I had my cousin, who's like, I think we literally like 2 months apart, a month apart actually. So she was always over at our house, so I was closer to her. I was never really closer to my sisters at that time. So growing up, wasn't close with my sisters at all. Like I was a horrible younger sibling. I would snitch on them all the time.
You're that child.
I didn't understand what it was like to have siblings. Like to me, it was just like y'all are just people I live with. Like y'all just cramping my space, you know. So I was the snitch. I was not a good child. So that's probably also why they don't want to be close with me.
They're just like, they purposely are like, get this one away from us.
And I feel like when there's that big of an age difference, your parents are already tired of growing kids. They're already tired of parenting. So when it got to me, it was like, it felt like I had only child syndrome. Like I felt like the only kid. Like who are these other 2 kids that are here? Like it's
full grown adults.
It's just me, really.
I understand that. Yeah.
So yeah, when I was young, wasn't that close like at all with them. Maybe like high school, I started getting close. Yeah. Grade 10. Grade 10, I started getting close with my sisters. Grade 8, yeah. Grade 9 was a very messy year. Grade 9 was the year that Hadassah left. She left for Joburg, so I was left alone, and that's where I made all the mistakes in my life. So she shouldn't have left me, firstly.
I remember.
I blame her for everything that happened to me.
That's her fault.
And all the horrible things I did in grade 9. I didn't have... I'm acting like I didn't have my mom to correct me. But you know, when you're in high school, you're not listening to your parents.
It's different. Like, it's different when advice comes from your mother than when it comes from your sister.
Exactly. With your sister, you listen. Like, she literally told me, I remember the advice she gave me from the start of grade 8. She was like, your reputation matters the most in high school. Like, whatever you do, keep notes of your reputation. Safe to say I didn't listen. If you knew me in high school, I'm not that same person anymore. I've changed a lot.
She really has. Like, I can like...
She knew me in high school. She can attest to it.
She was danger.
Exactly.
You know what the danger is?
I was the kid your parents warned you about. So...
I remember in college when you used to tell me some stories and I used to just be like...
I I don't know how I used to come home alive. I think guys in grade 9.
I used to worry.
Yeah, I think I spent almost every weekend at the house in grade 9. I don't know how. Guys, the life I've lived. That's.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I could kind of. Well, I was in grade 9. I just waited like another year or 2 to get there because grade 9 is a bit hectic. But for me, it started grade 10, grade 11. Grade 11, I was wild.
Bad.
Even the trick they say it's like you must focus on schoolwork.
No. It's sad because birds of the same feather flock together because
we like had
grade 12.
Yeah.
I don't know how I passed. I
don't know how
I only focused at the end. No, but even then, during exams, I went out to go watch the World Cup game. It was the first weekend of exams. I went out.
Okay.
Yeah, just fight the side.
Fine.
Anyway, so only in high school I started getting close to my sisters. And also, when you're in high school, you're older now. I'm no longer a snitch because now they have stuff they can snitch about me to my parents too, so I can't be snitching. Exactly. Obviously now I'm older, I get stuff. I understand the importance of having sisters. I no longer feel like an only child. No, there's nothing I love like having sisters, guys. Yes, I don't always like them. Just how they don't always like me either. Yeah. But you always love them. Like anything, like you can say anything about me, but you say anything about my sister, I'm coming for you. Like you can't.
I can say about my sister and make her. But if you try,
you say something, I'm looking at you like, oh, you want to tussle? Okay.
I'm very overprotective of my sister. Like funny enough, like I feel like with my sister and I, it's like I'm kind of like the older sister because I'm the one giving her advice. And like being protective over her, like especially when we were living together. She had a ghetto boyfriend. A ghetto, horrible boyfriend. I don't know.
They break it up.
Yeah.
Praise
obviously.
God. Praise
Not
God.
on the microphone.
Checking my teeth are clear. Oh, hi. We took a production break, but we're back. And better than ever. Because now we have some sugar in our systems. And after this, we're going to have some tequila in our systems. Anyway. Okay, so the final thing that I wanted us to talk about with overachieving siblings is, do you think having an older sibling who has achieved a lot impacts your relationship with your parents or just others in general?
My parents are they are really supportive and like, they just,
I'm sorry about my dog in the back.
But in terms of other people, I feel like it's helped me to be a better person. That might make me sound a bit egotistical to say that, but like I'm able to let other people have their wins. I feel like lots of the time, especially with like only children,
they have trouble sharing.
They have trouble. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. And I feel like because I'm like so used to my sister doing well, like I love to see other people like getting that type of attention as well. And I mean, I don't know, I've never really thought about it that much, like how much my relationship with her has impacted my other relationships. But I just know that it's like impacted the relationship with myself the most. The relationship with myself would not be what it is now if she wasn't in my life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like she's helped me grow. She's helped me like look at myself and be like, it's time to stop feeling sorry for yourself and realize, you have your own journey in life and, you're enough, How's it impacted you?
For me, with my parents, I think they already had kids that were already achieving a lot before I came along. So they already had people to be proud of, So for me, when I came along, it felt like now I have things to live up to.
Sure.
So it's kind of felt like, okay, I think growing up, I constantly had to prove. And I kept saying, no, I'm proving it to myself, but I think I was proving it to others that no, I'm good enough. I'm just as good, I'm,
Nice.
And so that not only seeps into my relationship with my parents, but my relationships with other people, even romantic relationships. Because now it's like I'm trying to prove that no, I am enough. I can be here. I'm enough, and
I feel like you're making me uncover some things that I didn't know and that I wasn't aware of. Like I didn't need to like realize that that's a deep-rooted problem.
But yeah, it was literally when I was going through this not script, but the questions. And I was thinking about my response, and I was like, oh, there's some childhood trauma there. Oh, okay.
I did not come here.
But I mean, one of the
To
things is
uncover
childhood trauma, so it's okay. It's fine. But I think the fact that I've been, with my growth as a person and my growth in Christ also, finding my worth in God and not achievements, not what other people think, I've had to outgrow validation so much.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous the way I've had to outgrow it and just be like, God's validation is all I need. Relying on God's validation instead of people's validation, and knowing that in God's presence, I am enough. I think with growing up, it's been me understanding that no matter what, no matter who's doing what, even if it's the people right next to me, super close to me, blood, whatever it is, whatever they're doing doesn't impact who I am and my value.
Exactly.
And I actually just thought of it, I have one here. But yes, admire someone's beauty without questioning your own. And that's such a big thing to do in life. Just knowing that other people can be doing big things.
It doesn't discourage what you're doing.
Doesn't diminish what you're doing. There's a fly. Lord, please keep that fly out of the view of the camera, please. Okay, you know what? We're going to do our outro now. So this has been great. We have Magic here with us. Most importantly, I want to thank my beautiful guest for taking time to be here with me today on my first episode.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much if you've watched or listened, whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching until the end or listening until the end. I appreciate you, and I hope that something here today resonated with your soul or with your spirit, and that you took away something that had substance. I hope you all have a good day, and remember, I was going to say something positive, but yo guys, life is life, you know?
Life is life.
It is what it is, but you're doing great, you're doing the best you can, and it's all going to pay off one day. You're loved. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow, and whatever you can do, and share. Thank you so much. Mwah. Bye. We're in sync. That wasn't even practice. My mouth came off. I have line on. Anyway,
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Madge, do you want to say bye to everyone?
Bye.
This is my Pomeranian. She's obsessed with Ursula.